Hello, yes, and I was going in slow motion. Carl Massy here, the Guidebook to Happiness. That would be me as the author, and yes, I do like to clown around a little bit. 43 years young, I call myself. Okay, if you haven't joined me before, we're going to go through one of the chapters in the Guidebook to Happiness. I'm not going to go through all the information in there. I'm just going to riff on it so you get a bit of an idea about what it's about, and I get to share with you some of the stuff that I've learned so that you can grow as a result of it. It's no good learning something if you don't get to share it. Now, I'm recording this in beautiful Bali. It's a light breeze blowing through, but it's a bit sunny, so I've got my hat on. I hope you don't mind. You won't be able to look into my eyes. There you go, that's me. Okay, so I start off by reading just to loosen myself up and to prep you up for it. Chapter 6, is that really what you want to know? And here's a quote from Ursula K. Le Guin, American author and poet. She says, there are no right answers to wrong questions. Okay, what object am I describing? I provide an answer for the questions when I'm asked. I don't decide right from wrong, I just answer the question. I'm really good at coming up with answers because I have vast amounts of information and stored data to draw on. If the question is wrong, I will give the wrong answer or no answer at all. You guessed it, it's a computer. A computer can perform all the functions described above, but what else has the same function? The human mind, the brain in action. When your mind answers the questions it is asked, it generally does not judge the quality of the question, but draws on vast amounts of information. But unlike our computer, it will keep processing a question until it finds an answer. Let me just put this down. So what does that mean? So it keeps processing. So if I ask a question like, what is wrong with me? The brain doesn't decide whether, hey, that's not a good question to ask yourself. It's probably going to put you into a pretty low state, pretty negative state. You're probably better off asking a different question. The brain doesn't do that. What it does is provides answers. If you ask a question, what's wrong with me? The brain will start computing, well, you're only 5'4.5". You've got a gammy knee. You're a little bit silly on occasion, so people don't take you seriously. You'll start coming up with all these. So what I want to really implore to you and get across to you is, if we don't like the answers we're getting, if they don't make us feel good, if they don't provide us with the solutions we're after, if they don't enrich our life, then maybe we're not asking the best question. Our minds are incredible, and our mind isn't only tapped into what we have access to between our ears. Our mind is actually connected to a higher consciousness. So we can actually draw things beyond what is circulating around in our head. And that's where inspiration comes from. That's where genius comes from. The ability to tap into something more, I don't know, more spiritual, more metaphysical, more divine, whatever it is, ability to draw into that stuff. And we do have the ability to draw into that greater awareness, that greater database. Our minds are, they're just amazing. The capability, the capacity of our mind is like nothing else on this planet. Like nothing else. We have that much potential. I mean, it's suggested that someone like Einstein was using like 10 to 12% of the potential of his mind. So we've got so much potential there. So it is so powerful. We want to utilize it as best as possible. So we want to ask it the best possible questions. I mean, this is a great way to do mind mapping, is to say, what is the question? And then coming up with the answers around it. So if there's something in your life, you don't like the answers you're getting, you don't like what you're seeing, you don't like what you're experiencing or feeling, back up and ask yourself, what questions are you asking? Could you ask yourself a more powerful question? Could you ask yourself a question, how can I find a solution to this? Or what is the solution to this? Or how can I do this in a way that is good for me, good for others, and I have fun at the same time doing it? So really be conscious about the questions you're asking. So that is the main point from today's lesson, today's session, today's chapter from the Guidebook to Happiness. It's about asking better questions. really being conscious of the questions you're asking yourself. And if you come up with something that, like, that makes me feel like crap, then maybe you need to back up and say, what question did I ask myself again? And maybe you need to look at asking yourself a different question. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed this little look at one of the chapters in the Guidebook to Happiness. If you're ready to jump in, or you may or may not have already bought a book yet, Amazon.com, there's Kindle books, there's paperback books. You can get a free sample at theguidebooktohappiness.com. All the details are down below. If you've got a question to ask me, ask that question down below. What I want to do is I want to share with you the things that I've learned. It's no good learning stuff if you don't get to pass it on. So that's what I'm doing here. I've put my collective thoughts into a book, The Guidebook to Happiness. I'm already working on my next book, The Guidebook to Optimum Health. I love the opportunity to share this with you. Thank you very much for joining me for this, for listening to me, to putting up with my little antics as I record this in beautiful Bali on this beautiful day, making sure that I don't get sunburnt. Have a beautiful day wherever you are. I wish you all the very best in your onwards and upwards journey to becoming the best self that you can possibly be. And I hope I've given you something, a little seed or a little bit of fertilizer, a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of light to help you bring out the best of yourself. So have a fantastic day, an absolutely gorgeous, amazing, incredible day. All the very best, and take care.